Good morning, traders. This is Tony D from the easyMarkets dealing room in Sydney. Little update for you today. It is a holiday here in Australia, so you will see that the ASX is closed, not moving at all. But the markets are moving, and we're getting some risk-on moves. A little surprising given the tumultuous G7 meeting over the weekend, where Trump refused to endorse the communique after getting upset with Prime Minister of Canada's remarks regarding the US tariffs, which he thought was a little bit unfair given that they weren't as aggressively brought up in the meetings themselves. And so he wasn't happy with the tone of the press conference from the Canada, and so he reversed his course. Originally he was going to be signing up to the communique, but he has pulled out there. But in regards to the big story, though, I mean, lots of Trump at G7 was pretty predictable. The main result was that we saw dollar CAD open higher as those trade war fears hurt the Canadian dollar. But other than that, the rest of the market has been pretty much risk on, with dollar yen higher and pound higher and euro higher on the day so far. A little bit of pullback since the open, but nothing too much there. Nothing in terms of stories really other than the G7. But if you're looking at the reason for risk on, perhaps there's a little bit of sentiment here that you will be seeing a positive outcome here in the Trump-Kim meetings, which start tomorrow at 11 a.m. Sydney time, 9 a.m. Singapore time. It's actually been held in Singapore, so it is good for our Singapore traders there to, perhaps get the news earlier than the rest of us on the ground here. If he does walk out or anything like that, then you'll see risk come off very quickly. If there is success, then potentially it could spark a nice little rally. Although the market is on the front foot already, so it would have to be concrete moves in terms of moving forward, trying to bring North Korea back into the international fold. But we have to wait and see. It is a hard one to predict, and politics like this is definitely, especially with Trump involved, it's definitely better to be cautious rather than predict. You can buy yourself some downside protection if you are long via some options. Even if you're looking at the easy trade tomorrow on dollar yen short, give you 6 hours protection there on any position. So look, there is tools out there to help you trade these announcements with uncertainty. Best way probably is options, depending on the price. If you're looking at the week ahead, it is a huge week, and we will spend a lot more time on Wednesday and Thursday talking about what is coming up. But it is the FOMC on Wednesday night, and then the ECB and Bank of England on Thursday. Now, huge meetings that you're going to be seeing, potentially shifts in the central bank's positioning here towards both QE for the ECB, future rate hikes from the FOMC, and the hawkishness generally of the Bank of England. See if they come back to being a little bit more hawkish than previously expected. We do have the CPI numbers, which are core for that, coming out on Wednesday before the Bank of England on Thursday. So, there is a little bit of reasoning that you will see some change, but we still have to wait and see exactly how that plays out. Other than that, you do have the general gist of the Euro rally, which is still continuing. It hasn't really stopped just yet. If we were to consolidate above 118, that would be nice technically for the uptrend to kick off, and for us to find resistance a little bit higher towards the 120 level. If we remain underneath 118 for a little bit longer, though, then perhaps the market will be looking at 118 to 115 as the eventual range trading there we have. But the lack of any sort of Italian risk now does make us a little less risky to the downside. And the ECB QE talk is a huge driver that could help the euro consolidate much higher against the strong US dollar. If you have any questions about what's happening here in the markets, don't hesitate to give us a call on the numbers below. If you do want to have a chat about the Kim and Trump sort of meeting tomorrow and how to best play it, which pairs would be most affected, it's really, comes straight down to, if it's unsuccessful, Aussie yen and dollar yen would be the easiest two to sell. But if this is successful, which ones to buy, then we have a bit of a question mark on how you want to play the ECB and the BOE, so FOMC. So give us a call if you do have those questions. Otherwise, if you're not a member of easyMarkets Dealing Room, you can sign up below as well. We'll get a dealer assigned to you to assist you with your trading.